So,
Buat sound effects sendiri. Okay, sebab senang nak ingat nanti bila potong.
okay, 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 okay,
Okay,
okay.
okay. Poot.
Toot.
Welcome back to another episode of He with Rifi Rizwan. Love is honesty, according to Anfaal Nawawi. She believes that the basis of love is to be honest with yourself. She discovers the meaning of love as she sets herself free from dishonesty, and for her, loving herself and others comes from within. She shares her story with He, how she finds love again through honesty, and talks about this as a revelation in finding yourself. Today we will talk about be honest with yourself for the love series, and to Anfal Nawawi, love is honesty. Now, before we start, let me ask you this,
Yeah.
okay? Um, when we speak of love, the
hmm
one that you feel is most important is honesty. Can you describe what love is honesty means to you?
All right. Well, I'm going to go back a bit to when you started with your campaign and we talked about it. I
Yes.
spent some time thinking about this, like what is love? And um, usually, okay, when someone talks about love, the
Mm-hmm.
first thing that comes to mind is a significant other, family,
Yes.
child, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And um, I, I do, I try to think about how to really make it applicable to everybody because
Yes.
everybody will have their own
Mm-hmm.
thing that they prioritize that they think about.
Mm-hmm.
So after thinking about it for a couple of days, I said, okay, I don't want to be cheesy and say like, oh, love
Mm-hmm.
is I found this so and so, I felt love in this situation and that.
Yes.
And I thought about my past experiences also and what led me to where I am now.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I must say really stood out was the fact that the more I was honest with myself,
Mm-hmm.
then the happier that I felt. So I feel that I am now at a stage where I am grateful to have people around me who help me to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, I also feel that I am able to love. So that's why I said that love is honesty. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that you need
Mm-hmm.
honesty to be able to really love
Yes.
because everybody has their own definition of what love is.
Mm-hmm.
And um, to be able to love,
Mm-hmm.
you need to figure out what you want. So, first, you start with loving yourself.
Yes.
When you figure out what you want, then you
Mm-hmm.
are looking at yourself and you are prioritizing yourself. You want to
Yes.
love yourself.
Yes.
And when you know what you want and you go
Mm-hmm.
for it, then you can really love for the sake of love. You're honestly
Mm.
loving and you're not loving for the sake of I feel pressured to do this or
Yes. Yes. Yes.
yeah. And I feel that it's very easy to say it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's something that actually can happen, and a lot of people don't realize it. And I'm
Yeah.
basing a lot of this on my own experiences. So
Yes.
I thought
Yes.
that I loved when I actually maybe didn't love something
Mm-mm.
as much,
Mm-mm.
but I persuaded myself to think that way because I was trying to achieve something else.
Yes.
So I wasn't honest with myself. And sometimes you can get away with this, but
Mm-hmm.
if it does continue, you keep on being dishonest to
Mm-mm.
yourself, as
Yeah. Yeah.
I was. I ended up being miserable. But I was still lying to myself. I said, no, no,
Mm.
no, this is
Yeah.
fine. This is
Mm-hmm.
fine. Do you know that meme where there's that dog in the burning room and the dog says, yeah, this is
Yeah.
fine?
Yes.
So it was the same situation. And unfortunately for me, the misery just manifested itself into me
Yeah.
being mysteriously sick for a period of time.
Yeah.
But that was in the past, and I'm just grateful that that is no longer happening
I
these
know
days.
what's happening. And I know now that you're not just surviving, you're thriving. And I like to use that. You're not just surviving, but you're thriving. And then despite what you just said, about being honest to yourself. Love is honesty. It's almost like you don't want to be in denial about something that is so obvious. You know, like you are clear about it because you think you love someone, and the fact that it wasn't, you know it wasn't honest. I think it makes sense that why a lot of people are miserable at times, and I am guilty of
Mhm,
that too.
mhm,
So when you spoke about honesty, I really figured it out, like, um I may have been honest with myself, but it was hard to sometimes be honest with other people, or in the state of denial, because we may want to feel accepted,
mhm.
or and feel included or inclusive, welcome, or whatever you may call it. Now, how do we, become honest with ourselves, according to you?
Yeah, I think you pointed out something interesting just now. You're in denial
Yeah.
because you want to be accepted,
Yeah.
or you want to be part of a community, or you don't
Mm-hmm.
want people to think you're strange,
Yes.
because you think differently or you prefer different things. And
Yes.
that is totally normal. I mean, we're all human beings. We all want to be part, to be
Of
accepted by
something.
other human beings.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be a part of
Yeah.
something, to feel like
Yeah.
we belong.
Yes.
And it's easy to say, yeah, I don't care, I'm my own person. But
Yes.
hey, I think everyone also has their own way of wanting to belong to something.
Mm-hmm.
So back to your question, how do we become honest with
With
ourselves and
ourselves.
try,
Yeah.
to get away from denial as you might?
Yes. Yes.
Well, being honest is not easy. It's hard.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to ask yourself the hard questions.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the questions you kind of run away from, or you cringe, or you go like, oh no, I don't want to think about that. And you need to ask and answer those questions again and
Mm-hmm.
again. When I was going through a hard time, I had a couple of good friends who invited me over for dinner, and then they would say, I'm going to ask you a hard question now, and you don't have
Mm-hmm.
to answer it, but just think about it. And they would ask it, and I would tell them I don't have an answer right now.
Yeah.
But
That-
um, um,
that's a best way to put it.
yes,
Like, if you can't answer it, don't. And don't be
yeah,
feel the pressure to having to answer that
no,
calling just yet, because
yes,
when you're not ready, you shouldn't push yourself unless you have to. Like, if you have to jump to save your life, you may have to. But at the times where you don't have to jump to save your life, I suggest that you don't do it. So don't
yeah,
answer that if you don't have the answer just yet.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because if you feel pressure to answer, then you
Mm.
might still be lying to yourself, and
Yes.
that defeats the purpose of trying to be honest with
Mm-hmm.
yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very easy to also master the art of lying to
Mm-hmm.
yourself.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so much so that you may bury your real thoughts or emotions. It gets
Mm-hmm.
buried really deep,
Mm.
some at the back of your mind, and you always have a prepared answer for something because you're just so used to thinking that way. For example, I don't know if you play football because you feel like, yeah, all my other siblings play football and I need to
Yes.
play football.
Yeah.
And actually, you hate playing football, but
Mm.
you've just, you're just so used to saying that, yeah, I love playing football because all
Yeah.
my siblings play football. But
Yes.
um, so
Yeah.
if you're in this state,
I totally
it
know what you mean. Because football, I hate football in school. And then when I had to play, I played it my own way. I played with my hands. I catch it with my hands, and I run, and I run like the runway. I just said, you know what? If I had to play it, I'm gonna play it my way. Everybody
I like.
laughed, and everybody accepted it anyway because it was so funny. But of course, I couldn't qualify for the game.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I had to cut you off there because it's so funny
No,
when you mentioned about
no,
it.
but,
So
but I can
yeah,
totally see you doing that, making the football pitch into your runway, holding a ball.
holding a ball. Everybody laughed because it was so funny. Like, who the hell hold a ball playing a football when it's just a football? No,
Exactly.
you can carry
But
on.
it's good that that you can laugh about it and have fun about it. But imagine if you were ashamed, or you're like, oh, I still need to play football, and you're just sitting there having your own runway going on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
But
Yeah,
But
sorry.
yeah, because not everybody can speak the way I did. Some people are embarrassed, ashamed of saying no to something, or being able to say that it's not something that they can play, especially at school. And some school force you into doing it. And
Yeah.
then, so yeah.
Yeah, and with, of course, with a lot of things, I don't know even how to mention them specifically. I don't know, peer pressure or whatever
Could
it
be.
is that you had when you were growing up, or even now, even.
Mm-hmm,
Um, it is, I think, normal for you to feel ashamed of
mm-hmm.
something, and
Yes, yes.
to keep going for the sake of keeping going, but you can't you can't love.
Yeah,
How are you supposed to love if you're not in a happy state, if
indeed.
you're not calm, if
Indeed,
you're not
indeed.
happy? Yeah, and what's even worse is that what you actually really want,
Mm-hmm,
because it's buried so deep in your mind, that you start feeling ashamed of it. But these things, for me, this is what I feel. I
mm-hmm.
feel that when you bury something deep in the back of your mind, it's
Yeah.
gonna find its way out.
Yes.
You can't really keep it there. It,
Sooner
it
or
it's gonna
later.
figure, yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna crawl out in some way
One
or
way.
other, and
Yeah.
and it's nice and good to acknowledge it.
Acknowledge
And
it, and the journey. I think you have to go through some form of a journey to get to
yeah,
know that.
yeah,
I think it doesn't change overnight. So I think your experiences, what you had to go through, I guess that was hard, probably hard journey for someone or yourself or myself perhaps. But in the end, I think if we allow itself to acknowledge it, we'll probably find that path towards the right direction, which is to be honest with yourself.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well
It
said.
is. It's part of a journey, and um, okay, I'm old.
Me too.
and,
Age is
and
just a number, but
yeah, it's
it
just a
is
number.
it is something
I
that we are struggle with.
I had this conversation with a friend recently, and
Uh-huh.
she's the same age as me, and we were talking about, oh man, we're really old, and we're getting really older. But
Mm-hmm.
she also said that, I celebrate getting older, because getting older means that I care less,
Mm-hmm.
and that all the stupid things, troubles that I faced 10
Yes.
years ago, for example, I no longer deal with them, because I'm done. I've gone through that journey, and I'm done with it, and I'm at a
Mhm.
much more happier, or a more peaceful or calmer place, because I have moved on from that.
Yes.
So, just to relate back to you saying that it is all the journey,
Mm-hmm.
coming, being to be able to be honest with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something that you can just say, yeah, I'm going to do this, and then tomorrow
Yeah.
figure
Yeah.
it out. It's a journey, and it's part of the process, and that's
Yeah.
also fine.
Yeah. And Michelle Obama said this is your journey of becoming. Whatever
Yeah,
you go through in your life, it's your journey of becoming someone, becoming something.
yeah,
So you got to
exactly.
embrace that, and I think you have come to a you have to come to a point where at every stage of your life you are going to realize it and acknowledge it. Something at the time you probably were suffering, but now I think you really did flourish, beautifully. I like to call flourish as it's just like a butterfly because you know that now, and it's something that you learn along the way and something that you embraced. And instead of like me, sometimes I know I'm getting older, but I do think that, oh my God, my life is over because I don't like the idea of being old.
Mhm,
But because my hair is receding,
mhm.
and I don't like I still have, in my mind, I still think, myself is that cute, me 10 years ago, and a lot of people are admiring. But now it's like, no, I don't have that anymore. So it's a hard thought. It's a hard question on wanting to accept that.
Yeah,
So, but
yeah,
I gotta be honest with myself and be like, I am getting old and it's okay. I'm losing hair and I gotta love the way I look today. And,
yeah.
and I'm
You
still
still you
feel
still look
good.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
And people still admire you for things that you don't realize,
yeah.
perhaps.
And then a lot of people think that feeling good about yourself is almost like narcissistic. Posting your picture and it's narcissistic. I wanted thinking on the other way. Narcissistic in psychology can mean something way worse than that. But
Yeah,
people like to use the word narcissistic so easily. Like people use the word OCD, someone is
yeah,
bipolar.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
not something that you can just, claim something to be,
yeah,
bipolar or crazy or,
yeah.
you really have to know what it means, or what it does, the harm it does, or why, when can you call something narcissistic? But I don't think it is. So when being honest with yourself, knowing that you feel good and you look good, embracing your age, you are confident, that's not narcissistic, you know?
No, yeah,
So you get what I mean. I
yeah.
guess going to the next question that, there's a lot of struggles that we as human,
Mm-hmm.
you know, um, um, have to be honest with. So, in your experience, in your observation, perhaps, what are the struggles we as human struggle with to be honest with?
To be
Yeah.
I think, I mean, I would, um as human beings in general, I
Hmm.
probably wouldn't be able to say something about that, but I will relate more to how I, as a human being,
Hmm.
grew up and the sort of community that
Hmm.
I was in or still am in. Is I
Hmm.
think that we try to live up to other people's expectations.
Yes.
So there are a lot of expectations, and this probably is a thing that is relatable in most communities in
Hmm.
everywhere around the world. There are always expectations and different degrees of it,
Yes.
but it also comes with caring too much about what other people think.
Yes.
And I also the reason I said that I'm
Hmm.
relating this more to how I grew up is that
Okay.
one of the things that really sticks in my brain even
Yes.
until today is that what would people say? What are you wearing?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, what will people say? So
Yeah.
that was something that was repeated over and over and over again as I was growing up.
Mm.
And I think even though I try to quieten that voice down, but it still is embedded very deeply
Yeah.
in my mind. Now I feel a lot calmer than say 10 years ago, and I
Hmm.
also don't really care. I care less. I care
Yeah.
less than I used to about the voice
Mm-mm.
that says, "What will other people say?" But I do feel that this is something that gets in the way of you being honest with
Yeah.
yourself. So
Yeah. Yes.
maybe I can
Cool.
give a small example
Okay.
um, from what I experienced. So I have always been someone who is actually very sensitive. And it's physical and mental. So as a child, I remember that I would complain if the label on the clothes are still there because it would make my skin itchy and I'll be like, "Ugh, this is so uncomfortable." And I remember once we were in the car, it was very hot, we were stuck in a traffic jam. I cried and took my pants off. I was like, "I can't take this. It's too hot for me." I was very young.
Mm. Hmm.
But anyway, mentally, I have always needed some sort of time to recuperate. When there's too much stimuli around me, it makes me very anxious.
Mm.
So, and if I don't get that space and time to recuperate, the anxiety grows and it affects other things.
Yeah.
But growing up in a society that, celebrates social activities, you always need to go visit family. It's considered rude if you say that I don't want to go.
Hmm.
Like, don't be rude. You have to visit family, and weekends and public holidays are time
Hmm.
to see your family.
Yeah.
Um, and everybody seemed okay with it. They had fun, they meet the cousins, they play football together.
Hmm.
Um, but and I felt that there was something wrong with me. I
Yes.
thought that one day I'm going to snap out of this and I'm going to be able to be like how everyone else is. And as when I was younger, I didn't have the skill of communicating what I needed. Didn't have the skill to communicate that too much activity makes me feel
Yes.
anxious.
Okay. Now, before you move forward, I'm curious about football. Do you use the term football a lot? May I ask you
Yeah,
why
sure.
why is it football?
I don't know. I think when I think of our younger days, I just think of growing up with cousins who played football a lot.
Mm,
Because
okay, they're
most,
boys. Yeah, they're
yeah,
boys.
they're all boys. I was the
Oh,
only girl for a very long time.
but you had me.
Yes. So you and I, we didn't play football.
No. That's what I was thinking. Because I remember you and I played Barbie dolls. If not Barbie doll, dress up.
I
You we
know.
played we played Doctor Doctor.
Yes, and there was once
Okay,
when my
okay.
mom. Okay, I just want to mention this. My
Yeah.
mom bought new curtains and we made
Uh-huh.
it into a fashion show. I don't know if you remember that.
I think
That
I
was
did. I think I
that was
did.
amazing.
Curtain fashion show. We turn it into a dress and the like a theater curtain and it opens.
Yes. My
Okay, okay. Now,
anyway, all
okay.
right.
Anyway, sorry, I had to cut you right there because
No, it's okay. It's because I guess with my train of thoughts, when I'm trying to go back to the past, those are the pictures that I visualize.
okay,
Oh yeah, the boys playing football and me just
okay,
there.
okay.
But where was I? Oh, wait, okay, okay.
Mhm.
So uh, yeah, I didn't have the skill to communicate. Like,
Yes,
mommy, I feel anxious. I didn't even know what anxiety was. All I know is that I felt miserable.
yes.
And sometimes, as a child, I would just cry like, "Whoa, why did we spend so much time visiting relatives? Now the weekend's over
Mm,
and school has started." And
yeah.
then, but you'd also kind of get told off like, "What are you crying and whining about?
Mm-mm.
Stop
Yeah.
whining and all that." But anyway, it's it's
Okay.
just an example. So
Example. Okay.
anyway, my point is,
Yes.
so it wasn't until a recent session with my therapist. So I do see a therapist from time to
Yeah.
time
Yes.
that we were talking about stuff and my therapist pointed out that you're just a highly sensitive person and that's fine
Mm-hmm.
just don't surround yourself with too much stimuli and take some time off and then I realized that actually it was okay for me to be upset or it was okay for me to feel that way and it wasn't like there was something wrong with myself. It
Mm,
was just that's how I am.
yeah, that's
And
how you are. Yeah.
yeah, and so
And it's
anyway,
okay. And it's okay.
and it's okay. And
Like
fast,
that. And if you can't visit family, we have to know that it's okay. Because my brother,
yeah,
yeah, my brother had, we always wondered why is he not joining us as a family? Why is he not visiting us together? As a kid, it's a bit difficult. I understand that
yeah, yeah. And
because
I
we are
wanted,
with them, and we have to go wherever they go.
yeah,
Now, as an adult, we are on our own.
and yeah, and I don't want to paint a bad picture of family events because I
Yeah,
love
it's,
family events, but it's just a small example. And if I fast forward to 20 years later, I
uh-huh.
was still doing the same, falling into
Yeah,
the same patterns. I
yeah,
would socialize when I
yes,
really couldn't handle it anymore, and
yes,
my
yes,
anxiety would grow and grow.
indeed.
So my TLDR, my point is, how
Mm,
can I even start to love someone else
yeah,
when I myself was in a constant state of anxiety? And
yes,
I was in a constant state of anxiety because I was trying to live up to expectations,
yeah,
what I thought were other
mm-mm,
people's
yeah,
expectations. I could
yeah,
have said no, but I thought that it's normal to socialize like this, so I need
yeah,
to keep on going.
mm-mm,
And um, and when I started giving myself time, then my anxiety started going down. And
mm. So you
when
get
that went
better.
down, I
Mm,
started being more calm, especially with myself.
yeah,
And when I am calm, I am also to be able to be calm with other people, and then I am able to show other people love. So
yeah,
love with a significant other, or love with your siblings and family, and
families, yeah,
all different types of love. But I was finally able to show love when I was able to be calm and love myself.
yes. And it's
So
it's it's a reflection, sort of.
yeah.
what love is to you, loving yourself, you reflect it to others because it's some form of a mature. It's something that reflects because you feel the love in you, and so it totally makes sense.
Yep, the energy that
The
you
energy.
give off. If yeah, if you if you have good vibes,
Mm,
then you also, this is the energy or the vibes that people also read from you. You also give off good energy, and if you're in a negative state, then
mm.
you also give off a negative state, and just becomes a bit harder to love someone else, I think.
Yes, that's true. And yeah, I totally understand that. I mean, um, especially when you are a sensitive person and
Mm-hmm.
then an empath, sometimes, it's hard for someone to say no to because you don't want to, sometimes we hurt ourselves more than we hurt others. Kadang.
Yes.
Kan? And then when we get hurt, we don't have the love for ourselves. It's really hard.
Yes.
And I know how that feels. And for all those years, um, you know, um, at the end of the day, you will find a way to deal with it, and then eventually be more acceptance to that growth,
Yep.
learning that it's a process.
Some people are lucky, they figure it out
Yeah, some people,
when they're younger. Some people figure it out when
yes,
they're older, and it's fine.
and it's
It's
okay.
everybody's personal
Yes,
journey. Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
it's a personal journey. Everyone differs. Their
yeah.
journey differs to where they are, to who they're with, where they were brought up, what were they exposed to. Everything is related. So
Yes,
at the end of the day, um, when we when we acknowledge, I think it has to start with acknowledging it, like you said in earlier, acknowledging it. As you learn now to acknowledge this is the first step to, as being to be honest with yourself. Is yeah, you know.
yeah.
Okay.
Acknowledge it, and if something bugs you,
Yeah.
you know, I think sometimes when I have conversations with friends, and
Mm-mm.
one thing that we like to remind each other is, if something bugs you, it bugs you. It doesn't matter if
Yeah.
everybody else around you tell you, oh, you shouldn't be upset about that. No,
Yes.
they're
But if
not
it bugs
you.
you, yeah.
Yeah, if it
Yeah.
bugs you, it
Yeah.
bugs
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
And then that's maybe just a good reminder or a good point to start asking yourself the hard questions. Why does this
Yes.
bug me? And
Yeah.
even if you don't want to ask yourself and you're like, you
Uh,
know what, I'm totally fine with this, that's also fine.
Now I
Because,
see it. Now it's clear to me. I mean, we've had this conversation
uh
for almost 40 minutes now. And when you say that if it hits you, if it bugs you, ask yourself the hard question.
yeah,
Ask yourself why it bugs you.
why
I
does
mean,
it bug
people,
you?
what people can tell you, don't be upset about it and whatnot. But then when we ask ourselves, like, what does it bug me? And ask yourself the hard question and
Yeah,
figure it out. Figure it out.
yes.
Yeah?
Yes,
Okay.
and
Okay.
even if everybody else around you seems fine with it, but feelings are there for a reason, I think, and they're
Mm-hmm.
not there, for shits and giggles. They're not there just
Mm-hmm.
to mess with you. No, it's there for a reason. There's something at the back of your mind, and
Yeah.
I think the back of our mind is some graveyard where a lot of things are buried. And besides, if it bugs you, it
Yeah.
bugs you.
Yeah.
Another thing that I really appreciate hearing from people is that's okay. I think that that's okay is a very powerful thing for people to say to you or for you to say to other people. Because to go back to my earlier story, I used to think that I was weak because I was sensitive. I would
Mm-hmm.
tell myself that one day I would snap out of this and I would be tough like everyone else. Um, and I was in denial. I was not really being honest with myself because I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't accepting who I was,
Mm-hmm.
but I was just telling myself that I am weak and one day I'll grow out of it, but I'm still waiting for me to grow out of it, but it's not happening. So, what is wrong? And I realized this that throughout my journey of figuring stuff out, I realized that I started being okay with this was when I had a conversation with a close friend and
Mm-hmm.
we were talking about that what would we be doing if we weren't doing the jobs that we're doing right now.
Mhm. Mhm.
And the military came up and he said, "No, no, you'll never be in the military. You're too soft." And
Mm.
that used to hurt me. I used to be like, "I'm not soft. I'm not weak. Don't say that
Mm-mm.
about me." But instead, I just laughed and I'm like, "Hey, you know what? You're right. I am too soft to
Mm-mm.
be in the military, and I'm not ashamed of it." And he also said, "Yeah, you shouldn't be ashamed of it. That's just who
Yeah,
you are."
let's see
And
who
then we
you are.
yeah, and we both just laughed about it. And at that point, I realized that I I guess I have reached a certain stage of my journey where I'm probably starting to be more honest with myself, to be more
Mm.
accepting of who I am, and to start facing those things buried in the back of my head, like we
Mhm.
mentioned just now.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. I think that's a beautiful story because
Thank you.
it's very hard for most people to not just admit that, but uh,
To acknowledge it
to
and
acknowledge it. It's
perhaps
hard.
tell other people about it.
Yeah. And
But
especially laughing about it,
yeah, yeah, that's true.
right?
Um, if you can reach a stage where you can laugh about it, I think that's a pretty good stage.
That's very stage.
Although,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, you don't have to necessarily laugh about
Yeah.
something.
I know.
Although we laugh a lot about a lot of random things. Speaking
Yeah.
of being yourself, when I was, I think in my early 20s, when I had just started working,
Mhm.
there was a point of time where I didn't believe in myself,
Mhm.
and I would listen too much about what other people told
Mm.
me
Mm.
because I didn't value my own thoughts as much because I felt like I'm a failure or I can't do this.
Mm-mm.
So,
Mm-mm.
maybe this person looks like they're doing well. Maybe whatever they say makes sense.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
But in now at this stage, I'm not in my
Mhm.
early 20s anymore,
Mhm. Mhm.
obviously. I finally realized that give yourself a chance. If you
Mhm.
listen to yourself, you might be really surprised at how well yourself knows yourself, if that makes
Yes.
any sense.
That makes total sense. Totally. You know.
And it
So,
doesn't matter
hands
if
up.
you think you're
Yeah.
a failure, if you graduated a
Or
couple of
not.
years
Yeah.
later from university or
Yeah.
whatever it is that your
Yeah.
definition of success is, it
Yes.
doesn't mean that you know less, actually,
Oh,
because the person who knows yourself best is yourself. And it's easy to not feel that way
yeah.
because of what we perceive as success or not
Yeah.
success.
I hands up to that. Really
Hmm.
beautifully said. Beautifully said. And owning your mistake and taking responsibility for your action is some form of honesty to me.
Yeah,
Because we all make mistakes and we
yeah,
all
indeed.
experience failures and whatnot and definition of success. And for me, there are a certain point now at this age, and I have a certain degree of success that I want to achieve, but I know it's not going to happen. So I have to accept it. I have to be honest with
Yeah.
myself. I will never be Oprah Winfrey. Yeah, I have to be honest with myself. I cannot. I have to accept the fact because I have a friend who thinks he is a great musician
Hmm.
and he never becomes one. And
Right.
I salute his the energy and power to believe that he will become one day. But he's not, he's not in any way. And I would say that he can continue thinking that he is. But for me, I don't want to live my life and and be upset for one day, I just couldn't be one,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's where
Right.
I feel like when you say everyone defines success or have kind of success that they to them according to them, and it doesn't matter what, but if that what it is for them, and it's okay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
okay.
it's
And
okay.
honestly, I still sometimes work myself up um, when I get distracted by things that I see other people doing, and I'm like, oh wow, look at that. How come I'm not doing that? And
Yeah.
then I focus so much on why haven't I reached that
Yes.
reached that yet? That
Yes.
kind of don't see what I myself am achieving or what I have
Mm-mm.
done, and
Mm-mm.
it's not fair to me because it just creates a lot of unhappy feelings and
Yeah.
unhappy vibes.
And
And
it's frustrating, right? To know
yeah,
that
it's
when you see something,
frustrating.
why am I not that successful? Is from what for what I see. Like when I see someone on Instagram, people, like in the show on Netflix. Like I want to be that person in Netflix. Why
uh
why did they become how did they become that? How
yeah,
did they become so creative that they become so successful, have 3 million followers, in worldwide, and have this much of success and featured in every magazine in the world, and everybody knows that I somehow, want that. And I
yeah,
have achieved a small, you know, a scenario like that being appeared here and there, but it's not like that. It's not what
right.
I want it to be greater. But at this stage, I have to accept that it's not going to happen. And I know you told me many times, you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know, but I know.
You never know.
But I know.
You're not that old yet.
But I know. Still, I want to, but I know. But yeah, yeah, but
if
it's okay.
if
Okay. Okay.
um
Yeah.
me right now were to
Mm,
go back to 25-year-old me, the one
mm,
who looked at other people and thought I was a bit of a failure, and
mm,
and told myself that chill, look at where you'll be in X number of years. I'm not going to
mm.
say my age.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't say it. I wouldn't say it either.
I wouldn't have believed myself.
Yeah.
I would
But
be
we
like,
ourselves,
what?
if we know
Not.
ourselves how old we are honest to ourselves. That's it. We don't have to tell the world.
No, we don't have
Yeah,
to
we
tell
don't
the
have
world.
to.
It's
Oh
fine.
dear. Okay, so moving on, then what if we don't or even refuse to be honest? What other harms before, you share your hopes and dreams to yourself and the world about
Mm.
being honest with yourself and what love is honesty to you? Yeah.
Well, I think that as this came up earlier also, that only we can figure out for ourselves what works for us and how you want to love. Um, because, love comes from yourself
Mm-hmm.
to someone else. So if you can't be honest with yourself about this, or you don't want to be honest,
Mm-hmm.
then maybe that's your choice, and
Yeah.
that's fine. We can't really set up a template and say it has to be this way,
Yeah, yeah,
because there is no such thing as templates.
yeah.
So there are, speaking of templates, templates is also one of the things that I'm trying to slowly accept, that I don't follow a certain template
Mm-hmm.
of, going to university and then getting married, having kids, etc.
Yeah, yeah,
But
totally.
actually I am happy. So anyway, that aside, I think if you can,
Mm-hmm.
try to be honest. So if you don't want to be honest, that's your choice, that's fine. But if you can try to be honest, you may just find something truly amazing. And like we mentioned before, when you listen to yourself, you may realize that yourself, only yourself knows yourself the best. And only you yourself can figure this out. Oh, the grammatical errors here are a lot, I think. But anyway, only you yourself
Mm-hmm.
can truly know what
Mm-hmm.
would make you happy, or what is it that you want.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're able to pursue what you want or what you need, there are many levels here. And again, that's something for you to figure out. When you're able to do that, then you're able to love. And I think for everyone, all the listeners and everybody else, I think that if you just be honest,
Mm-hmm.
keep on figuring out what you need. It's a
Mm-hmm.
journey. It's not something you figure out and stop.
Mm-hmm.
And when you try to do this, head towards this, then you can start going into a place where you love. You
Mm-hmm.
become calmer and you're a more loving person. And I think the world could always use more of these vibes for sure.
Well, thank you, Anfaal Nawawi. Thank you so much. Beautifully said. I love what you said. Thank you so much for joining me today. for listening to He with Rafi Redzwan podcast. New episode airs every Thursday on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Don't forget to follow He Podcast on Instagram for all the updates and behind the scenes. Please subscribe, rate, review, and comment. Once again, thank you for listening to He with Rafi Redzwan.